Friends, this girl's bones had become as fragile as dry wood, yet she weighed 100 kilograms. It felt like the baby growing inside her was draining her blood, leaving her bones dangerously weak. Let's begin the video. But before we dive in, if you haven't liked the video yet, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content like this. Suddenly, the baby kicked hard inside her womb. The force snapped her back, and as she collapsed to her knees, her legs shattered too. Everyone around panicked. They rushed to get the baby out, but her husband stopped them. The anesthesia hadn't taken effect yet. It was either going to be the baby or the mother. As soon as the knife cut into her belly, she screamed in agony. That's when Emmy saw the blood, and her eyes changed color. Everyone was terrified. Emmy was quickly dragged out of the room. Her husband, Alex, who was a vampire, watched in horror, but then he ripped open her stomach with his fangs, and the baby came out safely. But the woman had lost far too much blood. She didn't survive. Alex, her husband, who was a vampire, injected poison into his own heart and started cutting her body open, hoping his blood could bring her back to life. But nothing happened. She didn't wake up. Then, on her final day, when only a few bones were left of her body, something strange happened. Her broken parts began to heal rapidly. Her face slowly returned to normal. It was like a miracle, and she came back to life. She was no longer an ordinary woman. She had become a vampire. Her bones were now unbreakable. She could float in the air, see dust particles move, and sense the tiniest changes in her surroundings. She could even feel the joy in her husband's heart. But now, newly reborn, she was starving. So, her husband took her out for her first hunt. But she was so fast. Even her husband was stunned by her speed. She leapt over waterfalls meters high, landed in the woods, and ate until her hunger was satisfied. And then, we saw something shocking. Her newborn daughter's teeth had started to grow, and she reached out to touch her mother's face. Suddenly, all of Bela's memories came rushing back. It felt like this little girl had a special gift. On the other side, a shocking message came from Jack. He had fallen in love with that very baby, even though she wasn't even a month old. The night the baby was born, Jack had come to kill her. He thought she was the same witch who had killed his mother. But the moment the baby looked into his eyes, he saw his future. And in that future, she was his wife. It was written in fate, and fate can't be changed. That's when love rooted itself between Jack and the baby girl. When Bela discovered this truth, she snapped. She grabbed Jack by the neck and threw him out of the room. After Bela's reincarnation, her entire nature had changed. She was a vampire now, and Jack couldn't face her anymore. Weeks later, the baby had grown taller than a meter. One day, Bela took her daughter for a walk. Suddenly, the girl jumped high into the sky and caught a beautiful snowflake midair. Neely, who lived nearby, saw everything. She trembled with fear. She had seen a child like this once before, a child known as a blood-sucking demon. Such children cannot be controlled. If angered, they can wipe out an entire village. In a similar era, the Franz family had destroyed an entire tribe of such children. When Neely realized the same demonic child had returned, she ran to alert the Franz family. Their leader, Monel, was thrilled. He had always wanted to destroy the child, but the child's mother could see the future, and he had once warned her. But Bela's husband knew if he could prove the child wasn't a blood-sucking demon, the war would be avoided. So they began summoning their vampire friends from all over. Each one had a unique power. One could read minds, another could control electricity, and another could harness nature. Bela's powers were limited, but she could create a transparent shield that no attack could penetrate. The next day, Monel arrived with a massive army. Before launching the attack, he demanded to see the child. The baby girl stepped forward and placed her hand on Monel's face. Instantly, his memories flashed back. It became clear she wasn't a blood-sucking demon, but Monel wasn't ready to back down. He killed his own man for siding with the enemy. He wanted them to attack first. When he saw they were still holding back, Monel struck first, injuring the girl's father and announcing the shield was broken. The moment the shield dropped, everyone's powers were lost, and the war began. As Bela rushed to protect her daughter, Monel stopped her midair. His entire family, full of rage, joined the battle. Even the werewolves entered the fight. Monel had a terrifying ability. He could make people feel unbearable pain all over their bodies, leaving them paralyzed. Bela spread her shield again to protect her side, but the enemy shouted to break the shield and attacked with full force. Jesper was killed by 3 men. The war was spiraling out of control. One powerful punch split the ground. Bela seized the chance and eliminated her uncle. But when Ellis rushed to attack her, a werewolf turned him into prey. Finally, the leader was defeated. His head was cut off and burned. Suddenly, the scene cut to a flashback. The entire battle was just the baby girl's vision of the future. She showed this to Monel, warning him, if this war happens, this will be the result. Monel changed his decision. The child presented a witness, a vampire who had lived hidden in the human world for over 100 years. Monel ordered his army to retreat. He's returned to the vampires once again. And friends, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like right now and subscribe to the channel.